Hi, and welcome to Your Health, Your Way. I'm Kurt, and today I have a special guest with me, R. Neville Johnston of Telepathic TV. Now, Mr. Johnston is co-host of the Live Call-In Metaphysical talk show. It's been running for over 15 years and logged over or close to 1,000 episodes. Neville's the author of several books, including The Language Codes, which was really groundbreaking work.
Still is.
It still is, in fact,
Yeah.
and it came around, quite a long time before
Year
people were
2000.
talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
The Hidden Language Codes, Self-Empowerment Protocols, The Dreamist, and Metaphysical Short Stories. Neville is a lifetime artist and sculptor, and your work is available on Fine Art America.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that work has been displayed by the Smithsonian Institute, in fact. And you also provide initiations into the ancient art of Sekim.
Mm-hmm.
And you teach courses in galactic history, applied language codes, past lives, self-empowerment protocols, crystal healing and gridding, opening the third eye, and 21st century palmistry and face readings. So you've got quite a repertoire behind you.
There's much more to it than that.
So I would encourage you to visit telepathictv.com, where you can find out a lot of information about Neville, and I think your books are advertised through that website.
Through the website and through Amazon.
And through Amazon.
Difference is I'll sign the ones you get through the website.
Through the website, okay.
To whoever you want it signed to.
And the list of courses you offer to teach is also there on telepathictv.com.
Yeah, if you get a group, we can travel a reasonable distance to teach whatever group. The same thing with Mary. If you set up a group, she can come and do whatever that is.
Okay. Wonderful. And Lisa and I have been following Telepathic TV for quite some time.
Oh,
and
so you're the one.
We are the one, and it's been very influential for us. And we certainly thank you for all of the things that you've done over the years with Telepathic TV.
You're welcome.
We've both gotten some really good information, specifically from your work on linguistic expression. And I mentioned before you wrote some books on that. What are language codes?
Language codes are unconscious triggers that are in our language, and you never notice them because they're unconscious.
Okay.
But they dance you like a marionette, and you have no clue.
Okay.
Let us explore very briefly the idea of guilt manipulation. So a language code, the word should, is always guilt manipulation. Want to see how it works? You should know that. Okay, now I've made you guilty. You're sitting here in a chair. You've done nothing, but you're guilty. When you're guilty, you fall asleep. And when you fall asleep, you can be manipulated. So if someone says the word should to me, I immediately know that they don't trust themselves because they don't trust me. And they feel they have to manipulate me. They can't put it on the table. And so since we're all one, then I know they feel that way about themselves, which doesn't make them interesting to me. And I have yet to meet the person where I would pretend to fall asleep to see what they're up to, because I already know. So generally I'll pitch them a book, and I've sold a lot of books that way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've definitely sold some books just by saying, hi, this is what you're doing, you don't know it. Now, just to finish on the word should, where should becomes, and I mean this literally, it becomes necrotic, it will kill you, is when you say to yourself, I am my age, I should. What, you don't trust yourself? You're not on your own side? You feel you have to manipulate you unconsciously. Like, pardon me, but come on, let's put in a better performance than that.
Okay.
So the word should raises a flag, and when the flag goes off, it states, I'm being manipulated.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people see that as maybe proper humility, but there's a fine line there, isn't there?
I shopped that in front of a writers group, and I was informed it's a tacit contract, the word should. And I said, you mean guilt manipulation. Pay the least bit of attention to what's going on in your life. Yeah. Don't bother to pay any attention. Why would you start now? Right.
So we use words like should to hold ourselves back. What are some other ways that we use our language codes to hold ourselves back, if you will, or to feel guilty?
As soon as you want to say the word if, you have taken your authority out of the situation. Because as soon as you want to phrase anything as a question, you have put the answer to that question outside of you. Outside of you. It's outside of you.
Okay.
If you ask it as a question. Now, as soon as you formulate it as a question, you can just go, give me the answer. So it's a complex math problem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then I can seek counsel on finding this. But the answer is in me. And this is happening all the time. Every time you say, I knew it, you had the answer, but you wouldn't pay any attention to you because we're taught that we're worth nothing by the language. I'm only human. Good God, this goes on forever. The amount the language is totally suppressive for us. And I don't care which language on the planet Earth. There isn't one that doesn't have a should in it, as far as I understand. Oh, need. Need is the universal language is need. When you say, I need this, you separate yourself from it purposefully, but you don't know that.
Okay.
So if someone says, I need a job, then they are saying they're not creating a job, is what they're saying. They've separated.
So are they constantly reaching for something that's just outside of their grasp?
And that's normal human behavior.
Okay.
And we can cut that out like that. The next generation doesn't have to think at all like that.
Okay.
That's why I keep writing these books. The next book on the language codes is going to be, ironically, called The New Language Codes. But we human beings are designed to recognize everything as love, okay? But propaganda, and by that I meant brainwashing, and by that I meant progressed brainwashing. In other words, my father was the Dust Bowl and raised as a child through the Dust Bowl, and he'd walk around and shut off lights and taps and everything about. So that's now progressed into me. I find myself walking around going, God, could I get a plumber now? Thank you. Yeah, 100% of everything that happens is on your side. That's another piece of propaganda that makes you insecure and therefore manipulatable. And the other word for that would be asleep. Okay, so it is possible to get a hold of these things, and by reinforcing in your own thinking that it's never not going to work out. It has never not worked out. Not in the entire history of mankind has it ever not worked out. For every individual, it has always worked out. It's never not going to work out. I don't care what it is. It's on its way to being resolved.
Okay.
There's no way that goes any other way, yet we have all of these words, death and taxes and God, Lord, please give me a break.
Right.
Whatever it is. There's so much in this. So, to begin to recognize everything is love. Okay. Well, just the senses are designed to recognize it as love, but they are barnacled by thinking. So we're just talking about the sense of taste. Mm-hmm. Okay. So sense of taste describe love. Oh, it's sweet. Okay, well, yes, correct answer. I'm not arguing. Love can be very sweet. What about bitter? Well, bitter. How could you say bitter love? Okay, so you just mowed the lawn this summer, and that would be when it's about 200 degrees. That's a joke about the climatic change we're not going through as the government. Okay, you've just mowed the lawn when it's 200 degrees, and you're perspiring, let us say, especially as it was one of those. Okay, and somebody brings you a glass of lemonade. That is the best thing you have ever had in your life. That is the most, this is ambrosia. This is unbelievable. I couldn't have done better. And the chemistry in lemons.
Even if it's bitter.
Yes, and it's just, there's no bitter in American diet anywhere. You don't have any appreciation of it. Mm-hmm. So whatever other taste, savory is an easy one. Mm-hmm. Oh yes, spice, savory, yes.
Sure.
Yeah, so it's all of your senses, but there's this cloud of language. See, as much as we'd love to say that this is happening on your computer or whatever you're watching, it's really in your mind, it's really your brain, and your brain runs on words, and the words completely create the reality you live in. Okay, so could we be on it about that? Could we just step up to this and say, these words are creating? Did I go over if?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So
and in fact, you mentioned when you were talking about if, I wanted you to, I want to backtrack a little bit because you talked about when you use the word if, you're giving away your authority.
Oh, totally.
How many authorities are in our individual lives? And you've hit this on telepathic TV numerous times.
Many times we've taught that you are the only authority figure that there is in your life. You can believe you will be killed if you do it, and then you've put that command in and he's gone. Okay. When your boss says you're going to fly to Japan and make a dirty deal with, whatever, nothing to the Japanese, anything like that. Just you are the one that orders your legs to walk up the steps to get on the airplane. You are the one that seats your posterior on the plane. You are the one that goes to Japan. That's all your choice. There's no point at which it's not your choice, but you don't believe it's your choice because your boss told you to do it.
So,
Yep.
is there a division between the idea that we are in charge of our feelings, our personal success, our actions, our futures? Those are all of our choice.
Yeah.
Is there a division between that concept and the idea that the language we use can affect others in the way that we communicate?
As much as I'd love to believe that I can affect others, and I'd love to believe that, but they have free will. You cannot say. This is the famous victim versus choreography, as prefer to refer to it. So I was shot to death, okay, and I agreed to the experience, okay, and the person that shot me agreed to that experience, and the guy that manufactured the gun agreed to that experience, and the bullet maker, and all of these people agreed to these experiences. There is no possibility that anything that happened in your life you did not agree to. Cannot be done. You agree that if you just must do it that way, then we'll refer to it as your soul's choice. That'll take your responsibility for your actions, right? No, we won't. You're responsible for your actions. You choose everything that happens. Nobody is a victim. It cannot be done. You choose one. You choose victim, or you choose that you have free will.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I see God. I do love God. I experience it. I have other names. I prefer Om is a really good name for God. And I believe God has basically turned it over to us with the invention of free will. And you can just see he's gone fishing or something.
Okay.
It's just whatever that would be God would do to calm down and because it's up to us to make the choices in our life. It's not up to anybody. There's no such thing as luck. You may as well just tattoo victim on your forehead, as to... it's time for us to be in charge of our lives and to do something with our lives besides what we are told to do, because the only thing we're going to be told to do is make it worse.
Okay. Unless
Everywhere.
it comes from ourselves, I suppose.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have, so many correct ideas on your program. Would you mind eating food that's real? The food that's counterfeit food, there's corn syrup in everything except corn syrup. Right. It's the only place there's no corn syrup in this. Why is it labeled corn syrup? You got me. Geez, why would they do that? It's because it's pure sugar. It's just, look, it's a white powder in there. No, this is insane. What our diet is destroying.
Would you say that the way that we approach our sustenance industry, our food industry, is maybe a product of, or somehow an offshoot of, the way that we've produced our language codes?
Oh yeah, they fit together all the way around.
Okay.
We're brought up, the cereal companies put enough sugar in cereals that every child there is raised as a screaming maniac from the sugar high, and then is very depressed. And that's just a brilliant way to begin your life, isn't it?
Right. And it seems to be propagating with each generation more and more.
Up until, well, I'm happy about that, because there's only so far that wave can be stretched before it snaps back. And it's time. What is sugar is just not the deal. It's cocaine of the plant world, I suppose. But I mean,
right.
it really does wind you up, and then what are you going to do with that energy besides scatter things around? Do you have any sugar? No, this is all Coke. Really, God. No, switch all that stuff off. You have the power to do that. It is not difficult to do.
So you can switch off the language that you use.
Yes.
You can switch off the processed chemicals that you consume in your food, if you will. What are your suggestions about going about that? What sort of affirmations do we apply to our lives in order to get in the right frame of mind to do it?
Now.
Now.
Everybody, oh, I'll quit sugar 6 months from now. I swear. You know, and you get, okay. And you just have to have more sense. I never cared for reading the ingredients in anything, but I won't not do it anymore. You just, and find something that doesn't have sugar in it, for example. Yeah. Now, it's time for us to take command of our own lives. By the way, we were always in command of our own lives. We just were never taught to have any sort of authority or any sort of pride in it. Yeah, and 100% of everything that happens is on your side. So this is all on our side because it has to snap back. We have to give. World War II, you were expected, you were virtually traitorous if you did not have a garden on your property. Okay?
The old victory garden.
You have a garden on your property in any of these little housing development, and the head of the neighborhood watch, whatever that,
the HOA,
I believe the word's Nazi, will come and tell you that you're not allowed to grow your own vegetables on your own property. And I will say, let's see what the courts have to say about this, because there's some place where you could still get a bit of traction anyhow. Yeah, no, grow your own food as much as you possibly can. Mary was talking about what great fun she had with her sister when they would can mason jars full of tomatoes.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh man, where did that go? There's nothing like that anywhere.
You're absolutely right.
No, it's
and in fact, I encourage our viewers to look at some of our previous episodes where I give a short video on how to create your own square foot garden and grow your own food, and we kind of talk about some of those same things. And you know, hopefully we're starting to see a movement in that direction, and I know you in your front yard, you're going.
Hopefully.
You're right.
We are moving in that
we
direction.
are moving in that direction.
And anybody that wants to get in the way is going to have carrots planted on them. You know, really, enough of this. This is our planet. You cannot tell me what I do with it.
And you've done that in your own front yard.
Yes.
Instead of
to the detriment.
Put down a lawn.
Well, we have a little lawn there so that, oh, look, there it is. I'll mow it. Yeah, I got that. Yeah. Okay, no, well, herbs, they're easy herbs, and the mint just grows itself. I don't have to do anything.
Okay. And I've had some asparagus from my front lawn, which was out of this world.
Yeah,
there's nothing like picking food fresh from where it's at and eating it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And people have lost that. People have lost that.
Lost touch with it. The GMOs, you go into a grocery store, and what is that thing? Well, it's an orange. Why does it look like that? I don't know. It's an orange. Go away. Yeah, you know, it doesn't taste like an orange. It's Japan is, pardon me, no reference to any particular country, but they're growing watermelons in cubes, so you get a nice square watermelon.
Oh, no kidding. So
no, I understand. Man is basically an artist. I get it. I could see where I would do that. And then again, what's the matter with the watermelon? There it is. It likes to be that shape. It's designed to be that shape. You know, the corners in it, like, what is the little nutrients swimming through it? Oh, we got to make a right here.
Right.
How does that work?
Now, you have also, this kind of rolls right into how we treat each other and how we treat our world. You've written about the power of the key word love.
Yes.
And do you think there's any other words that we can use in our language to describe what the word love is?
People are phobic around the word love. We don't know how many dramas have been set up where a couple is obviously in love, and neither one of them wants to be the first person to say it. Okay. Actually, face reading, the iris of the eye, can be affected by use of the word love. There's actually a filament in the eye that will light up, literally it will change. If you sincerely love and you say that you sincerely love, it will change.
Will that work if you say it in the mirror?
Yeah, I believe it would.
Okay.
It's okay to love yourself. That's another thing you're beaten senseless for. Narcissism, blah, blah. They have solipsistic, how about that? There's a word, meaning you love yourself. You're the only thing that exists. All right, fine. I'll go for that. I wrote a short story called, it was in the book, Solipsistic Narcissist, about a guy that dived into a pool and landed in a place where he was the only person.
Very good. Right.
In the moments he was underwater, it was Olympic high dive he did this with.
It was a great story.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
well, thanks for reading it.
And that particular story is from Metaphysical Short Stories, another one of, I think is that your latest book? I believe so.
Yeah, latest book.
From Telepathic TV. So I want to thank you for watching us again, and Neville, thank you so much for joining us on Your Healthier Way. We will be sure to be catching up with you again on Telepathic TV. Again, that's telepathictv.com, and we are at yourhealthyourway.net. Thanks again for watching. And fade out.